I'm with Juliana v. U.S. These 21 plaintiffs from across the U.S., from coast to coast, filed a lawsuit against the federal government to ratify a climate recovery plan and to block it from giving subsidies to the fossil fuel industry. This climate recovery plan is intended to make change to a green economy very effective and smooth. Unfortunately, the nation we hold near and dear to our hearts spends $26 billion per year on the fossil fuel industry. Worse, our leaders have their hands soaked in petroleum. According to OpenSecrets.org, oil and gas companies contributed over $15 million to super PACs and campaign funds in the 2016 primary election. Ted Cruz received 57% of his super PAC money from oil and gas companies in the 2018 midterm election. Other politicians like Beto O'Rourke and Chris Christie are also major offenders. After years of collecting bookfuls of substantiated evidence, this case was filed in 2015 with attorney Julia Olson to represent them. Obama and his cabinet officials were the original defendants, and now Trump and his cabinet members are. Reporters have coined this trial of the century as game-changing. Both the Obama and Trump administrations have gone to vast extents on suppressing this case, and both sides of the aisle are guilty of perpetuating this endemic. In exhaustion of this abuse of power, plaintiffs are making four bold claims about the violations on the government's behalf. First, in violation of the public trust doctrine, the government has failed to protect the commons or the natural resources necessary for the integrity of living. In violation of the Fifth Amendment, people are denied their right to life, liberty, and property. In violation of the state-created danger doctrine, the government is imposing hazardous conditions in which to live. In violation of the 14th Amendment, people are denied their right to equal protection. So why? Why is this unequal? These aren't prosecutors. These aren't Harvard Law School professors. These are young people, like you and me. The inequality lies in that they have to deal with this for the rest of their life, long after Obama and Trump are gone. So what can you and other young people do to help? They have now prepared an amicus brief so they can be represented in court, and it is our moral obligation to stand behind them. To stand behind them in court by adding your name to the petition, and to stand behind them outside the court by rallying on these very steps. To stand behind the natives that preserve this land, and the elderly that are at severe risk, and the fellow youth that must deal with this for the rest of their lives. The amicus brief and petition can be found at joinjuliana.org. That's join, JULIANA.org. We also encourage you to contact your representatives and senators of Minnesota and urge them to endorse the Juliana plaintiffs. 7 representatives have already done so. Look at how many people amassed here today to fight climate change. Think of how much more we could do. Remember that even if it takes all of us shouting to just be heard as a whisper, if one less person weren't shouting, then the world would be silent. Minnesotans, this is 0 hour.